The com- testing. The committee of testing. Testing. 1, 2. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing. The Committee of Finance is hereby called to order. Madam Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Senator Marvin A. Blyden. Senator Blyden, present. Senator Samuel Carrion. Senator Carrion, absent. Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. Senator DeGraff, absent. Senator Donna A. Fred Gregory. Senator Fred Gregory, absent. Senator Javon E. James Sr. Senator James Sr., absent. Senator Janelle K. Saru. Senator Saru, absent. Senator Kurt A. Vialet.
Here.
Senator Vialet, present. Mr. Chair, you have 2 present, 5 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
You may proceed.
Correspondence dated July 27th, 2022. Honorable Kurt Vialet, Chairperson, Committee on Finance, Legislature of the Virgin Islands, 3022 Estate Golden Rock, Christiansted, St. Croix, Virgin Islands. Dear Chairperson Vialet, please accept this letter as a formal notice of my late arrival to today's Committee on Finance meeting, which is scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. in the Earl B. Otley Conference Room on St. Thomas. Please have all circulated documents placed on my desk for immediate review upon my arrival. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Kindest regards, Donna Fred Gregory, President, 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands.
Please mark Senator Donna Fred Gregory as tardy, and please mark Senator Carrion as present.
More correspondence.
Let me get the count.
Mr. Chair, you have 3 present, 3 absent, 1 tardy.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd also like to recognize Senator Bulquist. Thank you for attending the Committee of Finance meeting, your first Committee of Finance meeting. One more, please mark Senator DeGraff as present. And do you have any more correspondence, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
You may proceed.
Correspondence dated July 27, 2022. Honorable Kurt A. Vialet, Committee on Finance, 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands, Capitol Building, Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Dear Chairman Vialet, this letter serves to inform you that I will be tardy to the Committee on Finance meeting scheduled for Wednesday, July 27, 2022, in the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall in St. Thomas. I do apologize for any inconvenience, and I look forward to participating in the discussion upon my arrival. Thank you in advance for your understanding. Respectfully submitted, Janelle K. Saru.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Please mark Senator Saru as tardy and Senator J. James as present.
Mr. Chair, you have 5 present, 2 tardy.
Thank you. You may proceed and read the agenda into the record.
The Committee on Finance Fiscal Year 2023 Budget Hearing for Wednesday, July 27, 2022 at 9 a.m. in the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall, Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. The Committee on Finance will receive testimony on the proposed Fiscal Year 2023 Executive Budget for the Government of the Virgin Islands of the United States. At 9 a.m., the Office of the Lieutenant Governor invited testifiers Monica Williams Carbone, Esquire, Chief of Staff. At 12:30 p.m., the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority invited testifiers Wayne Biggs Jr., Chief Executive Officer. And at 2 p.m., the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority invited testifiers Andrew Smith, Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Chair, this concludes the reading of today's agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good morning to the people of the Virgin Islands. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to the testifiers. First, before us is the office of the Lieutenant Governor. I'm going to allow them to put their name and title on the record, beginning with Attorney Carbone.
Good.
1 second. The Committee of Finance will take a 2-minute recess. The Committee of Finance is back on the record. You may proceed and place your name and title on the record.
Good morning. I am Monica Williams Carbon, Chief of Staff for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning. Claudette Farrington, Director of Business and Financial Management, Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Good morning, Attorney Glendina Matthew, Interim Director, Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, Office of Lieutenant Governor.
Good morning, Ira Mills, Tax Assessor, Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Do it again and get closer to the mic, please.
Good morning. My name is Ira Mills, a Tax Assessor within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Dolace McLean, General Counsel, Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you. We have a number of individuals who are participating virtually. So I'll go with the top screen with the two individuals.
Go ahead.
Who's on the top, Attorney? Come on.
Miss C. Portia Pierre and Miss Shalma Moorhead.
Okay, so can you, Ms. Moorhead, can you guys proceed and put your name and title on the record?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is C. Portia Pierre, Recorder of Deeds for the District of St. Croix.
Ms. Moorhead?
Good morning, Shalma Moorhead, Assistant Tax Assessor, Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you. Thank you. Seeing Ms. Acoy. Ms. Barbara Acoy, can you put your name and title on the record? Go ahead, Ms. Acoy. Okay, I'll come back to Mr. Acoy, Mr. McKay, or Mackay, and St. Croix.
Mr. McKay.
Good morning, Lance McKay, MIS Director, Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
You unmute your device.
Yes, Lance McKay.
Okay, I'm still not hearing you. No, your device is muted.
How about now? Is that better?
Mr. Mackay, unmute your device.
I'm muted.
He says unmuted.
Yeah. How about now? Still not hearing me?
Okay, now I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Good morning, Lance McKay, MS Director, Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Akoy?
Good morning, Barbara Acoy, District Supervisor, Passport Office, St. Croix.
Okay, thank you. I need to get an officer. You, Ms. Akoy? I see that you're outside.
Yes, I apologize. I am feeling sick.
I'm joking. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we'll discuss that another time.
I know Ms. Akoy well, so I could batter her up. The conference room, the individuals in the conference room?
Ms. Charleswell.
Good morning, Cheryl Charleswell, Interim Assistant Director, Office of the Lieutenant Governor, Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation.
Next.
Good morning, Lark Bedminster, Assistant Director of Trademarks, Office of the Lieutenant.
Next.
Good morning, Kishma Dorset, District Thomas St. John, Passport Division.
Okay. Those who are virtual, whenever you're asked a question, please get as close to the device as possible. And if you can just take your mask off when you are speaking. So we have some other individuals in the back that might be. You just want to call the name and the title?
Yes, we have Mr. Brent Lairdom. He's the tax collector for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor.
So I think that he is going to be needed to answer questions. So Mr. Lairdom, if you can come and sit right over here to the left. And who else do we have?
We have Ms. Denise Johannes. She's the Director of the Division of Corporations and Trademarks. We have Mr. Chris George. He's the Administrator for the Geospatial Information Systems Program or Division. I have Ms. Shani Pinney. She is the Director of the VI SHIP Medicare Program. And Ms. Erica Dover, she is the Recorder of Deeds for the District of St. Thomas, St. John.
The record of these, I know we're going to need you, so come up, please. And you can take a seat right over here to the right. And Ms. Johannes, more than likely, Trademark and Corporation, you collect money, so we're going to have some questions for you, so come. And you can go and sit in Senator Carriong's spot, Ms. Johannes. Okay, this is quite a bit of a testimony, so while they're getting situated, Attorney Cabot, we're going to allow you to proceed and put the testimony on the record.
Good morning, Committee Chairman, Honorable Kurt A. Viale, and honorable members of the 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands Committee on Finance, other senators present today, as well as the viewing and listening audiences. I am Monica Williams Carbon, Chief of Staff for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, which is under the leadership of the Honorable Tregenza A. Roach, Esquire, Lieutenant Governor of the United States Virgin Islands. I most respectfully appear before you today on behalf of Lieutenant Governor Roach to present to you the summary of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor's Fiscal Year 2023 budget request, which includes all of the divisions and subdivisions under the statutory jurisdiction and supervision of the Lieutenant Governor. Today, I am accompanied at the testifiers table by Ms. Claudette Farrington, Director of Business and Financial Management, Attorney Glendina Matthew, Acting Director of the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, Mr. Ira Mills, the Tax Assessor, and Attorney Dulles McLean, PhD, Legal Counsel to the Lieutenant Governor and General Counsel to the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. Behind me in the gallery are also Mr. Brent Laird. He's also on the, not to the testifiers table, but to my right, Mr. Brent Lairdam, tax collector, as well as Ms. Denise Johannes, director of the Division of Corporations and Trademarks. And to my left, Ms. Erica Dover, district director of the Division of Recorder of Deeds for the St. Thomas St. John district. Behind me in the gallery is Mr. Chris George, Geospatial Information Systems Administrator, and Ms. Shani Pinney, Director of the VI SHIP Medicare Program. I am also accompanied by virtual means by Ms. Cheryl Charleswell, Acting Assistant Director of the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, Ms. Shalma Moorhead, Assistant Tax Assessor, Ms. Laura Bedminster, Assistant Director of the Division of Corporations and Trademarks, Ms. C. Portia Pear, District Director of the Division of Recorder of Deeds for the St. Croix District, Mr. Lance McKay, Director of Management Information Systems, Ms. Barbara Acoy, Supervisor of the Passport Facility for the St. Croix District, and Ms. Kishma Dorset, Supervisor of the Passport Facility for the St. Thomas St. John District. As I come before you today to report on the status of the divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, I ask you to take note of two significant facts regarding this office. First, many of the divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor are collectively a major source of revenue for the government of the Virgin Islands. The Division of Real Property Tax, standing alone, makes LGO the second largest revenue-generating government agency in the territory. Revenues collected benefit every member of this community by providing funding for social services such as health and education, and to maintain and improve public infrastructure such as roads. Second, the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, through its many divisions, provides essential services to the people of this territory, including but not limited to the licensing, regulation, and registration of businesses that fall within the jurisdiction of the office, the recording of and access to critical land ownership documents and information, the collection of and provision of access to geodetic data used by public and private entities for providing emergency and other services, the processing of passports, facilitating travel around the world, consumer protection services, and education, counseling, and outreach services. As always, today I will provide you with a brief overview of the fiscal year 2022 accomplishments for each division. But I will also provide LGO's assessment of the challenges faced by LGO and where LGO needs to be in order to maintain its operations by not only continuing to perform its many statutory duties and responsibilities as it has been doing, but by being able to perform these statutory duties and responsibilities more effectively, efficiently, and in a way that is consistent with the world we live in today. What has LGO accomplished thus far during fiscal year 2022? I must always, on behalf of Lieutenant Governor Roach, publicly commend the very dedicated, experienced, qualified, and competent staff of all the divisions within LGO for their hard work and sacrifices that play a vital role in LGO's ability to meet its statutory mandates. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, the members of the staff continued to serve the Virgin Islands community and to generate revenues for this government. Stress levels were high for customers, but they were also high for the staff because we all live in this community and everyone navigated and continues to navigate through these unprecedented and trying times. Moreover, the accomplishments of each LGO division were achieved despite the fact that, like many other government entities, many divisions have been operating with inadequate staff and have been faced with the harsh reality that in today's economy, locating and attracting qualified individuals to perform certain duties and responsibilities has been an almost insurmountable challenge. This challenge negatively impacts LGO's ability to engage in succession planning for the future of LGO's divisions. Notwithstanding, LGO's divisions engaged in several noteworthy activities and were able to achieve some significant accomplishments in fiscal year 2022. The Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulations is tasked with carrying out 3 significant legislative mandates. 1, to license banks, mortgage lenders and brokers, insurance companies and their agents and representatives, all securities and investment agents and brokers and investment products, and other financial services entities and related service providers that conduct business in the territory and that play a critical role in the territory's economy. 2, to regulate these licensed entities to ensure that they are in compliance with applicable laws, rules, and regulations. And 3, to serve as a consumer protection agency by receiving and investigating complaints filed by consumers against licensed and regulated entities. The division also generates a significant amount of revenues for the government of the Virgin Islands through its collection of premium taxes from insurance companies doing business in the territory, licensing fees from banks and insurance companies and other entities that are under the division's purview, securities registration fees, and fines collected from all licensed entities that fail to comply with Virgin Islands law. I note that this division has made several attempts to attract an individual healthcare provider for the territory to help meet the needs of the uninsured population. Meetings have been had recently with an insurer that expressed an interest in making individual healthcare available. They have submitted an application which is currently under review by the division, and we are hopeful that all requirements will be met and we will be able to make an official announcement in the near future. LGO commends the very dedicated, qualified, and competent staff of the division who, despite the many challenges, accomplished the following during fiscal year 2022. They achieved a full 5-year accreditation status from the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, known as NAIC. This signifies the NAIC's recognition that the territory has adopted the NAIC's model laws, rules, and regulations and policies that are necessary to conduct efficient and effective financial solvency regulatory oversight, which includes conducting financial examinations and analyses over licensed insurance companies, and as evidenced in the work of the division staff, the division is applying those laws, rules, regulations, and policies in a manner that other U.S. states and territories can rely on their professional work. The division participated in legislative sessions to discuss the overall state of banking in the territory, including the ability to obtain credit and the effect of global economic trends and rising interest rates on the Virgin Islands economy. They provided testimony before the legislature on bills covering the following topics. 1, the codification of new surplus lines diligent search requirements. 2, the establishment of a Virgin Islands Port Authority self-insurance program to manage the authority's risks. 3, the amendment of Titles 13 and 22 of the Virgin Islands Code to replace the term international insurer with the term captive insurer and to provide a definition for the term captive insurer. 4, the amendment of the Credit for Reinsurance Act, which is one of the NAIC's model laws. And 5, the codification of the requirement for a searchable online unclaimed property database. The division also created and issued a bulletin that provides guidance to persons and businesses seeking licensure as a money transmitter, and a bulletin that states the position of the Virgin Islands Banking Board on the regulation of cryptocurrency services in the territory. They coordinated banking board meetings, which included presentations by the territory's 5 licensed local banks and the Economic Development Bank regarding the state of the bank report covering each bank's operations for year-end December 2021, and discussions on banking products and services available to customers in the territory. They conducted several financial examinations, including a full scope examination of Elan Insurance Group, the examination of Topa Insurance Group and Dorchester Insurance Company Limited, which were coordinated with the California Department of Insurance, and the examinations of MAPFRE Preco Insurance Company and MAPFRE Life Insurance Company, which were coordinated with the Office of the Commissioner of Insurance of Puerto Rico. The division continued to mediate consumer complaints against insurance, banking, and other financial institutions, and to process claims for unclaimed property. They prepared and distributed public educational materials on Bitcoins, also known as virtual currencies, and on surplus lines requirements. These materials can be found on the division's webpage, accessed through LGO's website at ltg.gov.vi. They performed outreach and education services through participation in cultural food fairs on the island of St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John, in coordination with Vitima and other divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. And they participated for the first time in the Risk-Focused Financial Analysis Peer Review Project established by the NAIC to improve the financial analysis skills of the staff of insurance departments across the United States. In the context of insurance, financial analysis is the process by which qualified persons conduct an assessment of the sustainability and stability of insurance companies, and it is a critical part of financial solvency regulation. The Recorder of Deeds Division is managed by the Recorder of Deeds in each district, who are responsible for recording and filing every deed of transfer of real property or interest therein, and every mortgage or other security for debt that is secured by real property, including contracts, local and federal liens, releases of mortgages, and other legal instruments relating to the transfer of title and encumbrances on all real property. The information collected and recorded is used to maintain legal, reliable, and accurate records of real property ownership in the Virgin Islands, and this recording of ownership information sets the foundation for the property tax assessment and collection process. As a means of protecting ownership rights, all documents evidencing ownership of real property in the territory should be recorded with this division. This division also generates revenue for the government of the Virgin Islands through its collection of stamp tax fees. Despite many challenges caused by COVID-19, computer breaches, and inadequate staffing, the dedicated, experienced, and hardworking staff of this division achieved the following accomplishments for fiscal year 2022. They collected more than $16 million in stamp taxes thus far, and they completed negotiations to make e-recording available to users of the co-file system who conduct transactions with the division on a regular basis. This service will allow these users to record documents from the convenience of their home or office. Without this e-recording capability, users who need to record documents for multiple transactions on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis would be required to visit the office. The Division of Real Property Tax, comprised of the Office of the Tax Assessor and the Office of the Tax Collector, is tasked with assessing the value of real property in the territory and using the values assessed to collect real property taxes as the second largest revenue generating source for the territory. Included within the Office of the Tax Assessor is the Cadastral Unit, which is tasked with attesting deeds and archiving, imaging, indexing, and maintaining cadastral maps evidencing surveyed midts and boundaries for all real property in the territory. Property in the territory cannot be bought or sold without a deed that is attested by the territorial public surveyor and filed and recorded with the Office of the Recorder of Deeds. We publicly commend the staff of the Division of Real Property Tax, who with limited staff, but with an enduring commitment to serve the members of the Virgin Islands community, continue to serve the members of the public during the pandemic. We are pleased to announce that the Office of the Tax Assessor implemented a new computer-assisted mass appraisal system to manage the assessment process. That office has also created an application that would make it possible for members of the public to apply for homestead exemptions and change their address online. These functionalities will be implemented shortly. Additionally, in 2022, the Division of Real Property Tax obtained a new vendor for its billing and collection processes and has launched a citizen access portal allowing members of the Virgin Islands community to conduct business with the division from their home or office. We are in the process of finalizing capabilities of the system to accept online payments. Once fully functional, this system will improve the services provided by the division, including the establishment of installment payment agreements, the issuance of tax status reports on properties, and the issuance of tax clearance certificates. It will also enhance the collection of property taxes by allowing for compilation of accurate data regarding paid and outstanding property tax amounts. Despite the delay in accepting online payments, we are already receiving positive feedback regarding how much customers are able to accomplish that they were unable to accomplish prior to this new portal going online. Specifically, persons have commented on the ability to search for properties, view the tax payment status of a property, verify ownership of a property, and conduct sales comparative searches to discover the sale price for properties sold in a particular area. The Division of Geospatial Information Systems, under the supervision of an administrator, is responsible for providing the critical geospatial backbone for the territory by collecting and storing geodetic data. Geodetic data is used to represent the exact position of locations on the Earth, and it is a necessary part of any technology that is based on spatial location, such as navigation and surveying. This division created an intra-government geospatial information system platform, which has been and continues to be used for numerous infrastructure projects and for sharing critical geodetic data with other public and private entities that provide critical and emergency services to all members of this community. The capabilities of the GIS platform have positioned the territory through the Office of the Lieutenant Governor as a Caribbean region leader in the field of geospatial information systems in government infrastructure. The data compiled by this division is so reliable and useful that it has been used by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, to correctly identify Virgin Islands property in relation to their flood zone program. The division is currently awaiting the go-ahead to complete the final phase of the Street Addressing Initiative, which was initiated in 2012 and will culminate with the creation of a master address repository for the territory, improving the services provided to the members of this community by first responders and other entities that provide emergency services. With a very small staff, the Geospatial Information Systems Division was able to accomplish the following in fiscal year 2022. They received recognition by Google as the authoritative source for USVI digital mapping data. They were awarded the 2021 Exemplary Systems in Government Award by the Urban and Regional Information Systems Association, known as URISA. This award is the highest global recognition of GIS utilization in government. the division is now the official mapping data source in the territory for all the major players in navigation technology, including Google Maps, Apple Maps, OpenStreetMap, TomTom, and Esri, which is the Environmental Systems Research Institute. The division was awarded the Recognition of Support and Service Award by the Virgin Islands Police Department's Office of Highway Safety for its dedication to providing quality mapping data and analytical capability towards the efforts of improving overall traffic safety in the territory. The division continued to provide assistance to various Virgin Islands communities and homeowners associations in naming streets in their neighborhoods, and worked with the VI Housing Finance Authority and the VI Housing Authority to name the roads in their communities as a part of the Street Addressing Initiative. They continue to update USVI road and estate data on the global OpenStreetMap platform, which is the basis for all global mapping engines, including Google, Apple Maps, TomTom, and Esri. The division continued to host the GIS division's public GIS data viewer, which can be accessed at usvi.mapgeo.io, which is the most comprehensive website for Virgin Islands land data and most widely utilized government website, totaling more than 7,000 unique viewers per month. And the division continued to maintain the division status with the U.S. Census World Topographic Map and open source library as the official source for critical USVI GIS land and road data in the territory. The Division of Corporations and Trademarks registers business entities including corporations, limited liability companies, general partnerships, limited partnerships, and limited liability partnerships doing business in the territory. While this division does not grant trademarks, it maintains a database of federally registered trademarks that are on file with the United States Patents and Trademarks Office. It also generates revenue through the collection of registration and filing fees and franchise taxes. Thanks to the hard work of the very dedicated, knowledgeable, experienced, and qualified staff of this division, and the capabilities of the division's online catalyst system, throughout fiscal year 2022, the division continued to service the business community and to generate revenues for the territory, increasing its collections by 20% over its fiscal year 2021 collections. The VI SHIP Medicare program encompasses two programs. One, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, also known as SHIP, SHIP, managed on the national level by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, Office of Healthcare Information Counseling, and two, the Medicare program, administered by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. Both programs are managed on the local level by the staff of the VI SHIP Medicare office, whose primary duties are to educate and counsel Medicare beneficiaries about the services that are available to them under the two programs, and to assist the beneficiaries in making informed decisions regarding important health insurance and healthcare issues. Throughout fiscal year 2022, the small but very dedicated and competent staff of the VI SHIP Medicare program continued to be the local Medicare source for beneficiaries by providing education and counseling on Medicare and its available plans and services, and delivered guidance on how to enroll in Medicare and assisting beneficiaries with troubleshooting and billing questions and submitting appeals. It spearheaded a radio public service announcement campaign informing Medicare beneficiaries of the available preventive and wellness services. It conducted outreach in person for the first time since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic at the 2022 Cultural Food Fair on St. Thomas and the 50th Annual Agriculture and Food Fair, AgriFest, on St. Croix. And it was recently awarded funding from the SHIP program to offer mental health awareness seminars for the beneficiaries in the territory, particularly those with mental health needs emanating from the COVID-19 pandemic. Stay tuned for these seminars, which will be scheduled in the near future. The Virgin Islands Passport Acceptance Facilities are the local agencies designated to issue U.S. passports in the territory. While these facilities do not establish the requirements for obtaining passports, they are authorized to accept, on behalf of the United States Department of State Passport Services, all applications for passports. We commend the small but very dedicated, knowledgeable, and committed staff of the passport facilities who, despite the many challenges, continue to provide services which would otherwise require persons to travel outside of the territory to obtain a passport. These facilities also generate revenue for the territory through collection of the fees associated with each passport application. The Division of Business and Financial Management plays a critical role in ensuring that LGO is able to perform its many statutory functions, as it serves as the nucleus of all financial activities for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. It provides budgetary support and oversees the day-to-day financial procurement for all divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, to include facilitating the procurement of supplies and services and centralizing the maintenance of all personnel, time, and attendance activity, and financial records. It is also responsible for the overall collection of revenues with the direct oversight of cashier services and for general maintenance and custodial services at the various locations of LGO. We commend the staff of the Division of Business and Financial Management for their hard work, commitment, and dedication to ensuring that all LGO divisions have the necessary resources to meet their many and varied statutory obligations. In fiscal year 2022, the staff of this division deposited and reported on revenues collected for all divisions of LGO for the benefit of the entire territory to the tune of $62.2 million as of June 2022. It created and submitted LGO's fiscal years 2023 and 2024 budget to the Office of Management and Budget, which will allow LGO to continue its operations, and responded to information requests pertinent to the financial audit for the government of the Virgin Islands. It initiated the relocation of LGO offices on the island of St. Croix. Despite the challenges in locating and attracting qualified individuals, the division continued to process job vacancies in NeoGov for positions advertised on governmentjobs.com and posted ads for vacancies that we have been unable to fill. This division was successful in assisting the GIS division in hiring a GIS analyst and in interviewing for hire a GIS technician who is scheduled to begin shortly. Both persons will be working with the GIS division's administrator to complete the final phase of the street addressing initiative. The Division of Business and Financial Management was also successful in assisting the VI SHIP Medicare program in adding 2 part-time counselors to its staff and replacing a full-time Medicare service technician on St. Croix to assist with its education, outreach, and counseling services provided to Medicare beneficiaries. And the division collaborated with representatives from the Office of Disaster Recovery, the Virgin Islands Territorial Emergency Management Agency, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency regarding renovations and reconstruction projects for LGO locations that were damaged as a result of the 2017 hurricanes. These projects should be moving forward in the near future. The Division of Management Information System, as the name denotes, provides system management, diagnostic support, and maintenance for the computer and technology systems for all divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. This division works with remote vendors contracted by LGO to create and maintain local systems for the provision of services to the members of the Virgin Islands community. This division's role in automating the services offered by LGO has made it possible for the Office of the Lieutenant Governor to enhance its revenue-generating capabilities and the services provided by each division. In fiscal year 2022, the very qualified, competent, and experienced staff of the MIS division completed the virtualization of internal service system services for LGO, assisted in the transition to and the implementation of the new Citizen Access Portal for the Division of Real Property Tax, fully implemented network monitoring, detection, reporting, and response management tools for better protection against malicious online attacks such as ransomware, implemented redundant data backup systems to assist with exponential recovery in the event of data breaches, thereby improving cybersecurity for LGO offices and the government of the Virgin Islands, upgraded desktop and phone hardware, software, resulting in better end user experience and productivity, and initiated OneDrive implementation for LGO's data backup and better space allotments for LGO staff. The legal division, though not a formally recognized division within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, plays a critical role in the day-to-day operations of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. Specifically, legal counsel, as well as other attorneys throughout the other LGO divisions, draft contracts and other legal documents and legislation needed for the efficient operations of all LGO divisions. Legal counsel also works with the Virgin Islands Department of Justice to bring resolution to various matters affecting both LGO and the government of the Virgin Islands. The legal division also oversees the notary division, which is responsible for regulating and monitoring notarial acts performed by persons appointed and commissioned by the Lieutenant Governor to administer oaths and affirmations in the territory, ensuring that these individuals comply with all applicable laws while acting as public servants. Additionally, the notary division processes apostilles and certificates of authentication requests. In fiscal year 2022, legal counsel worked with the 34th legislature to create and enact the Virgin Islands Uniform Law on Notarial Acts, which codifies the policies and procedures for licensing and regulating notaries in the territory. This legislation will ensure the integrity of documents that are critical to the commercial and legal transactions in the territory. Where is LGO now? As reported in previous budget testimonies, it has been a priority of Lieutenant Governor Roach that the Office of the Lieutenant Governor regain and maintain public confidence in the ability of the government of the Virgin Islands to carry out its statutorily mandated duties and responsibilities. In order to regain and maintain this public confidence, LGO is committed to being transparent, efficient, consistent, and reliable in its provision of services to the members of the Virgin Islands community and in the collection of needed revenues for the government of the Virgin Islands. The world as we know it today is not the world we lived in 20, 10, or even 5 years ago. The COVID-19 pandemic taught us this lesson. We cannot expect to continue conducting business as usual. People are finding new ways of generating income outside of the conventional workplace environment, and with advancements in technology, computer system breaches have become more prevalent. Yet, there are services that require human intervention, and we are more reliant on computer systems to improve services and the customer experience. In light of the foregoing, there are many challenges faced by LGO which, if not addressed now, will have far-reaching impact on LGO's operations. Despite the fiscal year 2022 accomplishment, LGO realizes that it needs to up its game, so to speak, in order to not only continue to provide services and generate revenue, but to enhance those services and increase revenue generation. LGO has determined that there are 4 major challenges that we must overcome in order to do this. LGO has begun to address some of these challenges, which include 1. Staff shortages, wherein LGO has been unable to attract new employees and seasoned and experienced employees have retired or are approaching retirement. Some employees have also resigned. Some divisions have been unable to attract qualified staff in positions that require specialized skills and/or education. One division for which we have been experiencing challenges in attracting qualified individuals is the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation. Individuals educated and skilled in the field of accounting are desperately needed for the division to continue to perform its regulatory functions, including reviewing financial statements, conducting financial examinations, and performing risk analyses to ensure that insurance companies and other regulated companies are in compliance with our laws and are maintaining financial stability to continue operations and avoid insolvency. These staff shortages have also caused delays in the provision of services and in the completion of some job functions, particularly in the Recorder of Deeds Division, the Real Property Tax Division, and the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation. These staff shortages are due in large part to low salaries in the affected positions. 2. Unreliable, inadequate, or non-existent computer systems and automation. Divisions that have computer systems are in need of either upgrades or replacement computer systems, and divisions that do not have computer systems need to be automated. 3. Threats to LGO's computer systems. It is no secret that the government of the Virgin Islands has experienced several security breaches that have had a clear impact on the operations of LGO. This appears to be inevitable in the modern world and has received local, national, and worldwide attention. 4. The need for more effective collaboration with other government departments and agencies in order to be most efficient and effective in the collection of revenues. LGO requires collaboration with specific government departments and agencies. This is a work in progress. Where does LGO go from here? In response to the above referenced challenges, LGO recognizes that all but number 4 of these challenges require funding in order to address the underlying issues. With this in mind, LGO has established the following general and focused goals and objectives to address the challenges. We have begun to implement some of the initiatives associated with these goals. 1. LGO has been trying to discover new opportunities and ways to locate and hire more staff and qualified individuals who possess the requisite credentials to perform the duties and responsibilities required in the respective LGO divisions. As stated above, the failure to attract candidates has been due in large part to low salaries, which are not competitive in today's job market. We recognize that we are limited in how we can address the deficiency in salaries, as many of the positions are union positions for which salary increases are negotiated with the respective unions on behalf of all of their members and not on an individual basis. Notwithstanding, in an effort to recruit candidates to fill vacancies in LGO's various divisions, we continue to seek out prospective candidates by participating in the process established by the Division of Personnel, by posting ads in the newspapers, by participating in job fairs, and submitting job postings to the University of the Virgin Islands. We are also working with the Department of Labor to identify programs for employment of individuals to assist LGO with completing certain projects. Additionally, we continue to participate in negotiations with other Government of the Virgin Islands departments and agencies and the respective unions for wage increases for all unionized government employees. We are also committed to revisiting job descriptions to address needed updates to duties and responsibilities in an attempt to address salary issues through the use of desk audits and possible reclassifications of positions. LGO has also recognized that the aforementioned staff shortages and salary issues have affected the morale of LGO employees across the divisions. In light of the limitations and challenges presented for LGO in addressing these issues, LGO has been exploring ways of bringing camaraderie to the employees in both districts. In December of 2021, we coordinated and sponsored an Employee Appreciation Week, during which each day there was a planned activity for employees, including a group walk, a Christmas decorating competition, a luncheon, a movie night, and webinars on dealing with stress, fostering a positive attitude, respect in the workplace, and a presentation by the Division of Group Health within the Division of Personnel. Most notably, we distributed gift certificates from a local warehouse retailer that sells groceries, household items, bulk size items, and everyday essentials. Going forward, we have commissioned activities committees in both districts to plan and coordinate future activities. 2, LGO is engaging the services of the International Association of Assessing Officers, known as IAAO, which is the regulatory authority for the assessment of real property taxes in the United States and Canada. This organization will perform an audit of the current processes in the Office of the Tax Assessor and provide technical assistance and guidance on how to implement best practices in the Tax Assessor's office. 3, Lieutenant Governor Roach is committed to improving the working environment for all LGO employees. When he first came into office, he recognized that LGO staff had outgrown the spaces in LGO's various locations and that the conditions at certain locations were unsatisfactory. He also recognized that there was a need to consolidate services offered to the members of the public in order to improve the customer's experience. At that time, he made a pledge to relocate affected LGO offices throughout the territory, and he began to deliver on that promise in the summer of 2020 when offices on the island of St. Thomas were relocated to Niski Center, where other LGO offices were already located. This resulted in the consolidation of all LGO's services, with the exception of notary services, which is provided from LGO's main office site on Government Hill, that are offered on St. Thomas, and created a one-stop location for the benefit and convenience of the members of this community. It is important to note that the new landlord is very responsive to LGO's needs and concerns. As promised, LGO is in the process of both consolidating services and providing a better environment for LGO staff on the island of St. Croix. Thus far, we have entered into a lease for a location in Estate Castle Coakley, and the Department of Property and Procurement is currently negotiating the purchase of a building in Christiansted. We thank this 34th legislature for approving the budget appropriation to fund this acquisition. 4, LGO has several technological improvements currently underway and some to come in the near future, subject to the availability of funds. These technological improvements include: A, LGO cannot completely remove the threat of computer breaches. No one can. However, LGO has been and continues to add security features to its current systems to reduce this threat. B, LGO has transitioned to a new vendor to provide a billing and collection system. This transition was needed because the previous system was unreliable, resulting in LGO's inability to report to auditors and track property tax revenues without engaging in manual processes, requiring a great deal of time and effort and human resources. As with any new system, there are a few issues that we are working on with the vendor. We do anticipate that once the issues are addressed, this new citizen access portal will be an improvement from the old system, allowing members of the public to utilize our online services from their home or office to pay their tax bills, conduct searches for properties, to view the tax payment status of a property, to verify ownership of a property, and to conduct sales comparative searches to discover the sale price for properties sold in a particular area. Indeed, we have already begun to receive positive feedback regarding the features of this new system. C, as stated above, LGO has negotiated with its current vendor to add e-recording capabilities to its current system for the Recorder of Deeds division, allowing persons such as attorneys and realtors that use the system on a regular and frequent basis to record documents remotely. We have begun the process of trying to locate vendors who can provide the e-recording services directly to users who will be responsible for paying those third-party vendors for utilizing their e-recording services. We anticipate that this e-recording service will significantly improve the turnaround time for all recordings of ownership documents in the territory. D, we are currently working on a scope of work to solicit a vendor to implement an archiving system for the cadastral section of the tax assessor's office. This system will allow the tax assessor's office to commence the archiving of cadastral maps and to bring the imaging and indexing of cadastral maps up to date. E, a new vendor has been selected to implement an unclaimed property database management system. The Unclaimed Property Program, under the oversight of the Division of Banking, Insurance, and Financial Regulation, receives and maintains funds received in the form of closed bank accounts, certificates of deposit, etc. Discovering a new way of maintaining unclaimed property has been a challenge for the division. The new system will allow LGO to electronically monitor unclaimed property funds and to process claims requests within a shorter period of time. It will also allow LGO to publish the unclaimed property listing on an annual basis. It will greatly assist the administration of the Unclaimed Property Program if LGO is able to hire a new employee dedicated solely to this function. F, LGO would like to upgrade the archiving, imaging, and indexing system for real property data recorded with the division of the Recorder of Deeds. G, LGO has been exploring ways of bringing the assessment and reassessment of real property in the territory up to date. A request for proposals has been sent out to solicit a vendor to conduct high-quality drone flyovers as a means of acquiring information on new constructions and improvements to old constructions in order to initiate the process for capturing these properties in the assessment process and as a means of increasing real property tax collections in the territory. These flyovers will be the first step of a territorial mass appraisal project. And H, we have entered into a contract to automate the notary division, which will computerize notarial services in the territory. In an effort to enhance the collection of property taxes, LGO has begun to improve collaboration with other government agencies on which we rely for information needed for the collection of taxes. Thus far, we have had fruitful discussions with the Department of Planning and Natural Resources and have entered into a memorandum of understanding facilitating the sharing of information regarding persons and entities that obtain building permits in the territory. We have also had discussions with the Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority regarding the sharing of information needed for the collection of sewer fees by the Division of Real Property Tax on behalf of that office. In closing, the Office of the Lieutenant Governor is committed to increasing revenue collections and improving the way it provides services to the members of the Virgin Islands community. As always, Lieutenant Governor Roach thanks the members of this community for their continued support and constructive input regarding the operations of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor and its various divisions. He also extends his heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the employees of the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, recognizing their continued commitment and service to the government and the people of this territory. The essential role performed by each member of the LGO team in collecting revenues and providing needed services for the Virgin Islands community helps to ensure a better quality of life for all Virgin Islanders. Mr. Chairman, we have presented you with an overview of the fiscal year 2022 activities and accomplishments of the divisions within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, the challenges experienced by this office, and the fiscal year 2023 goals and objectives that with proper funding can and must be achieved in order to not only continue to generate revenues and provide services, but to increase revenues and improve services. We will now present our budget and revenue details and projections for fiscal year 2023.
Thank you.
One correction on page 12, where I stated the collection for all divisions within LGO as 62.2 million as of June. It was 62.2 million as of May, and as of June, it's 76.3 million.
What page number?
Page 12, first bullet, under the Division of Business and Financial Management, the first bullet, deposited and reported on revenues collected for divisions of LGO for the benefit of the entire territory.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much.
Okay, it was correction, 62.2 was as of May. As of June, it's 76.3. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we always like higher numbers. You're going to read the last part, or that's just for our information?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Okay, I guess that's just for us. After the summary, the breakdown of the revenues, that's just for us, right? Okay, thank you so much. Colleagues, we're going to, I know we probably need 2 rounds, so we're going to begin with a 5-minute round. And then we'll go to a second round after that. Senator Carla Joseph and Senator Francis Heileger, thank you for joining us. And Senator Noble Francis and St. Croix, thank you for joining us. Yeah, I have Senator James as present. Okay, so colleagues, let's begin. We'll begin with Senator Blyden, 5 minutes. Before Senator Blyden starts, let me just get some basic first. How many retirements, how many resignations? Just so we could have those numbers. I want you to, you can ask the question we want you to ask, so I'm not asking that one. And Senator Janelle Sarro, also she is present, committee member, thank you for coming.
Okay, within what period of time, Senator?
This fiscal year.
Fiscal year 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll have to look at that and get back to you.
Okay, no problem. Senator Blyden, you recognize.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Good morning to my colleagues, listening, viewing audiences, staff, central staff. Good morning, Chief of Staff Carbon and your supporting management team there with you, and thank you so much for that most comprehensive and in-depth testimony. It was a very good presentation, a lot of information, good information as a matter of fact. Thank you for that. But before I go to my line of questioning, let me ask, in respect to your testimony, on page 4, you spoke to okay. Let me go to your different divisions. Can you go to your different division, because I know you spoke to the one your collection year to date out of June, which is 76 million. Can Can you go to page 5 of your testimony? Sorry about that. Can you give us a amount for these different categories? Actuals? I know you have the 2021 actuals for real property tax, cadastral, banking and insurance, financial services, record of deeds, passport, and corporation and trademarks. Do you have any year-to-date amounts for 22?
Yes, dear Senator.
Can you please share that with us?
Okay, a breakdown of the 76.3 million
Yes.
as of June 2022 is as follows. Real property taxes, $23,955,344.
Okay.
Miscellaneous cadastral, $223,387. Banking, insurance, and financial regulations. For banking, we have $20,561,623. Financial services, $6,810,172. Record of deeds, $20,182,797. Passport and notary, $936,396. And corporations and trademarks, $3,668,092 for a grand total of $76,337,811.
Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And with that being said, in respect to your vacancies, how many vacancies do you have at
On a current basis, Senator?
Yes.
Currently, we have about 37 vacancies. Across all funds.
37 vacancies.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Well, the reason for that is because there were positions that have been deleted and we needed to recreate positions. For example, in our GIS division, we came down to only having a manager, and one of the positions we had lost, so we had to be creative. In this day and age, you have to do that and recreate the position, and we're actually happy to say we anticipate somebody coming on board. Actually, they started this week, started this month. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay, with the Lieutenant Governor's office being the second highest revenue generator for the government, we have 37 vacancies. I mean, you guys are doing some tremendous work, I must say. You're doing some great work. So imagine what can be accomplished once you're fully staffed.
Exactly.
So you spoke in testimony about being creative. What does that look like? What are you doing to really onboard individuals to assist in terms of collecting the revenue that's out there that needs to be collected?
Well, like I stated in the testimony, we participate in the government process, which is the process for union employees. We've participated in job fairs. We've sent out job postings in the newspapers. We've sent out job postings to the University of the Virgin Islands. We've started to move forward with looking at job descriptions as well. Some of the job descriptions are outdated. Some were transferred from other offices and they don't apply to time.
I see all that you said, but what about training up and then onboarding new individuals to fill those spots of those individuals that you have trained up to actually fill those gaps? Have you thought about doing that also?
Well, remember when you move up too, we have had promotions. One of the individuals in the GIS division is going to be moved up. And when you move up, you got to fill the position from which they're moving.
Of course.
And a lot of the entry-level positions, the salaries could be better. We had Mr. Mills had someone hired, he was on for a month and moved to another government agency because of pay, because of the salary. So we've been having a lot of challenges.
Senator.
But my time has been called. I'll let my colleagues drill down. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
responses.
Senator Blyden. Senator, go ahead.
I just wanted to respond to your question, Senator. Number of retirements and number of resignations. 4 retirements and 7 resignations. And to add to what Chief of Staff Carbon said, we do promote from within. So, your vacancy numbers remain, it increases because we move people up. We do a lot of, in-house promotions. We advocate for that.
How many individuals were hired in FY22?
In FY 2022, I think, I can confirm for you, I know we brought on board at least 5 to 6 individuals.
Okay. So you brought in, let's say 6, but you lost 11.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a wider void of 5 individuals. And how many were promoted?
In terms of promotees, thinking off the top of my head, it might be around 3 or 4. I will have to confirm those numbers.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I just want to put on the record, we realized that last fiscal season, and we actually increased the budget for personnel and fringe. We increased the budget for personnel by some $500,000 for FY22 to allow the Lieutenant Governor office to be able to hire additional employees. And I'm looking at your actuals, and your actuals, you are not even on target to spend $4 million. So you're going to have, in personnel, you're probably going to have like $700,000-800,000 left back. That's going to go back to the general fund.
Not necessarily. We'll have to run the analysis. But again, we've been losing people, and it's been hard to recruit and attract people.
Okay, and the post audit as of 5/5/22, which would be 7 months, you spend $1.7 million. And you have allocated 4.5. Well, I'll go back there. Senator Bolquez, you recognize. Point to increase, Senator Francis Alaga.
Has there been any extensive looking into virtual employees to help fill the gap during this time period where you physically can't get people living here? Thank you.
Virtual employees, no. In many of the LGO positions require its services being provided.
Good. I was going to say that Ricardo needs all of that. You need actual people there that are able to service their clientele. Senator Bolquez.
Mr. Chair, can I please have a point of personal privilege?
Well, you recognize now for your 5 minutes, so you can utilize it.
I'd like to extend my condolences to the families of the 3 men that lost their lives in the La Grande Princesse area in St. Croix. While I do not know the men, I have spent a lot of time there. My father is from that area and lived there 30 years, so my sympathy goes out to them. Thank you for being here with us, Chief of Staff Williams Carbon and team. As a proponent of e-government and expanding e-services in the Virgin Islands, I must say that the Lieutenant Governor's office has definitely done their job in that area. And I'm looking forward to seeing more enhancements in the virtual side of things concerning the regulations and telecommunications and services for government. I want to ask a question concerning your statement on page 20 of your testimony. You mentioned that there's going to be a new vendor. Can you please inform us as to who the vendor is, what the contract details are concerning the costs, and if any of your employees are going to be receiving any training on the new database system? I understand that you're trying to hire 1 employee. You spoke about that in the testimony also. And I'm wondering if that's enough, if that 1 person will be enough to administer or control the system. It's a territory system, I'm assuming.
Are you referring to the unclaimed property the system for unclaimed property.
Yes.
Okay. Could you repeat the question?
Sorry if I'm going too fast. I wanted to find out if you could inform us who the vendor is that is bringing forward this new database management system. And I wanted to know what cost or details of finances are associated with that cost. And I understand that you're going to train one employee in order to utilize the system. And I'm wondering if one employee is enough as well.
Okay. For the specific information with regards to the contract and the cost, I'll defer to Miss Attorney Matthew to respond, well, to all the questions.
Good day, Attorney Glendina Matthew. The contractor, yes, has been chosen. The name of the contractor is Avenue. In terms of the amount, it's in the contractual phase, so I'm not gonna put on the record a specific amount because we just began the contractual phase of that contract. In terms of the number of employees, one is at least in a better position than we're in right now. Preferably, it would be two, one in each district, but at least one would be we would be in a better position than we currently are with one individual.
Okay, so I'm assuming that you've had a lot of challenges in that area, and that's why you're implementing the new system. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that the next time you come to see us. I also saw that you have a vehicle listing on the Post Auditor's report. I noticed that on the island of St. John, the second oldest vehicle, a 2006 Wrangler in fair condition. Are you planning to replace that? I know there's other vehicles on there in poor condition on the islands of St. Thomas and St. Croix. What are your plans to replace those vehicles?
Morning, Senator. The vehicle has in fact been replaced by an updated vehicle on St. John.
Okay, so that's incorrect on the testimony.
That was the vehicle that we had there, but we within the last 2 months or so, that vehicle has been replaced by a newer vehicle.
What about St. Croix and St. Thomas?
St. Croix, Ms. Frampton, could you speak specifically to those?
In terms of Office of the Tax Assessor, for currently between the end of the year, early this year, we purchased we tend to buy Jeep Wranglers for them to go out in the field. We purchased a Jeep Wrangler. I think the prior fiscal year, we had purchased 2 Wranglers for St. Thomas, St. John District, and 2 for the St. Croix District. So we have been moving along to replace. We had a lot of vehicles that were 2012, that were older, and started to show problems. So we've been moving forward with replacing them. It's my understanding, based on recent discussion, I need to take a look at, in terms of vehicles for St. Croix in the Frederick said location, but we have been moving towards replacing the vehicles.
Time.
Okay, my time has been called. I'll ask the other questions during the second round. Thank you for the time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Bulquist. Senator Carrion. Okay, Senator James, you may proceed.
Good morning to the people of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the time. I see here in the budget, not in the budget, but in your testimony, you made mention of the street addressing initiative. And I know you have came down here several times to explain the status of that project, and I'm happy to know that it's moving forward. But I just want to know how much of this funding has been expended for the street addressing initiative and how much is remaining?
There are funds specifically, we were awarded funding for the street addressing initiative. I'm gonna let Mr. Chris George, you can respond.
And while he's making his way to the chambers, can you just let me know when this project is scheduled to be fully completed? Do we have any delays, possible delays? anything that is preventing our project from moving forward?
We're just waiting on a notice to proceed from the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority. We've been working through with them. We had a meeting as late as this week. So we're close to being able to move forward with that last phase, and I will have the Administrator George elaborate.
Yes, give me the brief breakdown, please.
Good morning, Chris George, Administrator, GIS Division, Project Manager for the Street Addressing Initiative.
Speak into the mic.
Good morning, Chris George, Administrator, GIS Division, Office of Lieutenant Governor, Project Manager for the Street Addressing Initiative. Through Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority Community Development Block Grant, we were awarded $5 million, maxed at 5.3. We are currently in the ending phase of the project agreement, which we're writing out the full scopes, which had all the environmental reviews, all the federal reviews that need to go into the project.
Excuse me, sir. I asked a specific question. With all due respect, how much has been expended out of the $5 million and how much is remaining?
We are currently doing the project agreement. No funds have been used as yet.
Senator, none can be expended until we get the notice to proceed from the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority. We can't spend any of the money, even though it's been awarded.
That is what I wanted to hear. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And I saw here where we have a vendor, CAVU, for approximately, can't see this amount here, but I see where the contract ended April 10, 2022, and it's specifically for property tax billing and collection system upgrade. Is that information outdated? Have we renewed that contract with the vendor?
We have not renewed that contract. In fact, in my testimony, I mentioned the new billing and collection system. It's through eRing. It's called the Citizen Access Portal, and it is the system that replaced that CAVU system.
And if I missed that, I do apologize. And if you could just let us know the reason why we're no longer using that system and moving to the new system.
Okay, as stated in my testimony, the system was unreliable, and we were unable to access reliable information from the system. So the determination had to be made. We had to move on in order to be able to collect revenues for the government.
Thank you. You made mention that you'll be possibly moving into a new building in Castle Coakley. Have you completed the negotiations with the owner of that building?
Yes, we have. We have the lease. We're doing the build out at this time. The other building I referred to in Christian said, I stated that the Department of Property and Procurement, as the contractual agency for the government, is negotiating the terms for the
building for Castle Coakley. I'm really trying to squeeze in my questions here today. And when you do that, it takes away from my time. I specifically asked about the building in Castle Coakley, and the next question is, what would be the cost and exact location of the building?
It's number 30. It's number 35, Estate Castle Coakley. Give us a minute, please.
And have you negotiated a possible cost? And if you did, have you factored that into the budget?
We negotiated a cost, Senator. We have a lease, and yes, it's factored into the budget.
And how much is the cost?
Give me 1 minute. I think it's, give me 1 minute.
And as you look for that
it's
information,
around 325,000. Let me look for the figure. Okay.
And as you look for that, I see there's a significant decrease in supplies throughout the various sections in the budget. Is this a cost-saving measure within the Office of the Lieutenant Governor? What triggered that large and significant decrease all across the board when it comes to supplies?
Well, we have decreased supplies. There's a need to increase other services and charges for the various contracts that we have for the different divisions. So in general, we're looking to see where our needs are, where we need to go, and based on that, we did an adjustment, yes.
Okay, and then the last question regarding the costs of the building? You were saying something around a cost of $300,000 or something like that?
Yes, 1 minute.
And then the last question, did we factor that into the budget as we speak about a budget that is before us? We want to make sure that we can proceed with that.
Yes, I indicated we did factor it into the budget, Senator.
And while you look for that, I see that there's a breakdown. I would like a breakdown of the capital projects. I see that you're requesting $456,764 for FY 2023. Can you just explain to us what you plan to do with that? Is that part of the $300,000 for Castle Coakley as well?
Time.
The figure for Castle Coakley is around $325,000. As far as the capital budget is concerned, there's a need for us to do several things. We have to revamp in our divisions. There's a need to make changes with a lot of our equipment, technological as well as our basic equipment. We need to make changes there. Also, we have a property on St. John that we need to do some repair. We need to secure it. We need to make some upgrades to that property on St. John as well. So that's all included.
Thank you for your answers to the questions. And please, next time for the next round, let's make it brief so we can ask more questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Thank you, Senator James. In reference to the property in Christiansted, how long has Property and Procurement been dealing with this negotiation or trying to complete a purchase agreement? I know we appropriated the money a while back. It's almost a year in order to relocate the Lieutenant Governor's office. How long has it been in Property and Procurement?
Maybe since maybe last summer or so.
Put it on the record.
Well, there was a challenge. They had to.
From when?
Okay, go ahead. I don't know.
Probably about last summer or so. I know they were having challenges in finding adjusters. There's a requirement. Appraisers. Virgin Islands law requires 3 appraisals, and I guess with all of the construction and stuff going on, they were having challenges in finding or locating.
Who was having trouble? Property and Procurement?
Yes.
Property and Procurement were having trouble finding appraisers. So just everything that the government wants to purchase or try to close a deal on, we know it's not going to happen because they don't have appraisers. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Senator Bailey, I just wanted to mention, in terms of the vacancies, 37 across all funds, of which 24 is general fund. And we explained to you our situation before with respect to the positions. You mentioned in 2022 some additional $500,000 for Office of the Lieutenant Governor. In fact, for 2022, based on the budgets, there was a 50%. There was a cut. Let me
tell you what I'm referring to. Your actual for fiscal year 2021 was $3,977,080. And your appropriation was $4.5 million. So in reference to your actual versus what was appropriated.
Okay, in my mind, I thought you were speaking specifically about personnel services. I know we didn't get any additional there, and there was a cut, and we were challenged to figure out how to distribute it. So maybe we're talking
I'm going to look back at the FY21, what was appropriated.
Mm-hmm.
But what you actually spent in 2021 under the personnel category is $3,977,000. That is what was spent on positions within the Lieutenant Governor's office. And then the appropriation for fiscal year 22 was $4.5 million under personnel. Okay, if you look at what you have now, I look at your actuals. Your actuals, page 5 of 16. Post-audit report. Your actuals with classified and unclassified and lump sum and overtime and everything else as of May 5th is $1,732,688. So that's from October to May is 7 months. So for more than half of the fiscal year, you have spent less than 50% of what was appropriated.
Senator Bailey, all I'm saying from a budget standpoint, unless you and I are not on the same page, LGO did not receive additional funds.
Okay.
I'm just putting on the record,
No problem.
pointing out that,
No
in
problem.
fact, we received a cut, and it was a challenge to determine how to do that distribution. That's all I'm saying.
And
That's all I'm
I
saying.
acknowledge that,
Okay.
but
No, I wanted to make sure when you talked about a 500,000 increase, you weren't speaking about another department because I know it wasn't us.
okay. So I will take back the 500 increase, but I would say that the monies that you have allocated this year or appropriated this year, which is 4.5 million, after more than half of the fiscal year, you have not even spent 50% of the monies.
Well, again, that's to be determined. The fiscal year is not over yet.
Okay, what are your actuals as of now? What's your actuals?
I did
No, it's
not.
unless you're able to onboard a tremendous amount of individuals. We're not going to spend those monies.
We told you we do have problems recruiting and retaining staff. We told you that we promote from within. It's a problem. Some of
Right,
the
and
okay. So
I'm
I just
not
want to make
disagreeing with
sure
you. What
we're on
I'm-
the same page. Actual versus budget.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
The legislature job is to make sure that there's sufficient monies. With the monies that we appropriated last fiscal year, at the end of the fiscal year, it's not going to be expended. So there is an issue with bringing individuals on because of the low salaries. However, this body don't negotiate. We don't negotiate. We have, on a regular basis, asked this government to either renegotiate these contracts or to have some type of stipulation with officers' collective bargaining so that you're not paying a tax collector $27,000. Because then coming. And that is the position that is here. You have vacancies funded at 50%, and real property tax collector 13,906. That's 15%. Teller 13,000. Cashier 13,000. 13,000. I mean, who coming? That isn't the problem or the fault of the legislature. That's the fault of the executive branch. They need to sit with these unions and come to some type of agreement so that the monies that are allocated can be spent and used and we can get people into position. And that's all we're saying. Every year we're hearing the same thing. We can't fill positions because the salaries are too low. So well, then what are you going to do?
Senator,
Not you. This is your argument.
I'm just saying.
Your argument. It's
I just wanted to.
point of increase, Senator Fred Gregory.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, colleagues, and good morning to the testifiers.
Good morning.
Just to try to address this conversation so you can understand what your challenges are. Do you bring individuals on the third step?
No, we do not, Senator.
Why?
Generally, as a general rule, they're required to start at step one, unless I guess we can justify something beyond that based on their qualifications.
Now you know we can.
I'm sorry?
You know we can justify it.
As a general, but they have you budgeted at step one.
But listen.
So then you have to find the difference.
Okay, so I asked for a point of inquiry. I need to ask just one question.
Sure.
But just let me wrap up by saying that this conversation is a conversation that continues to permeate throughout every single agency that comes before the legislature.
Right.
So I understand the frustration of the chair and all of us because we continue to hear the same messaging.
Okay.
But what's missing from the messaging is we have yet to hear that we are sitting down as a executive branch team and looking at this issue to address it. We continue to talk about the fact that we have 1,200 positions available, but they ain't getting filled. So if we continue to do the same thing over and over and we're getting no results, then what do we call that? So this is not something that is necessarily directed to the Office of the Lieutenant Governor, but this is an overarching issue that we find that's occurring in the government, and it needs to be addressed. It's time. I've sat here for 3.5 years, and this is the same message. So hence the reason for the frustration. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Don't let it continue.
Point of inquiry, Senator Blyden.
Leave it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Don't let it continue.
Ms. Carbon, earlier was stated by my colleague in respect to the appraiser that PMP is waiting on. Does the Lieutenant Governor's office have appraisers on its portfolio?
Not that type of appraisers. That would be with Mr. Mills, but they are not trained for that type.
No, speaking to the mic, please. I need to understand.
It has to be an independent appraiser.
It must be an independent appraiser. Okay, that explains it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Blyden. Senator Joseph.
Pleasant good day to you, Mr. Chairman, to all my colleagues and the viewing and listening audience, as well as the testifiers here today and present from the Lieutenant Governor's office. I always try to open up my speech with commending all of the hardworking people of the government of the Virgin Islands, and especially today, the Lieutenant Governor's office. I know the Division of Banking and Insurance has been working hard, especially on a number of legislation with the legislative branch, and I really want to commend you for all the hard work. Also on the Office of the Tax Collector Office, you guys are doing a really great job and collecting those taxes. So I'm going to focus some of my questions relative to the tax collection, and if you are able to give us some raw data that you have collected since we implemented that act relative to advertising those properties that have been in arrears and going forward to collect those funding. How has that act increased our revenue generation in the collection of property taxes? And if you could share with us precise numbers.
Good morning, Senator. Brent Laird, tax collector.
Mike, pull the mic closer to you. Do not be afraid. It is your friend.
Good morning, Senator. Brent Laird, tax collector. Could you give me some clarity of which act you're referring to?
The act wherein we have advertised in the newspapers all of those property taxes that have been in arrears for a number of years, and they were giving an opportunity to make good, or their properties would be auctioned.
That was the 2021 Delinquency publication.
Right.
And in that publication, we listed tax years 2015 and prior that were delinquent. And yes, so during the course of the fiscal year 2022, we have collected thus far some.
You have it broken down with those.
In excess of 15 million in delinquencies.
15 million.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. And do you have the prior year collections in delinquency so we can do a quick comparative analysis?
For fiscal year 2021, the actuals that were collected in delinquencies was $29,255,393.
So we are looking that we collected a little less than the fiscal year before with the delinquencies.
Well, that's as of the end of fiscal year 21. We haven't reached the end of fiscal year 22
this amount of 50 million is as of?
This is actuals.
2 minutes.
As of middle of July.
Okay. Okay, so we just say July. Okay, thank you so much. I want to go back to the personnel cost. I know we were talking about that, and I did notice that we had a bit of jump here and a bit of decrease here. Kindly turn with me to page 5 of the post-audit report. I want to drill down a little bit more on that. And it's noted that these expenditures are comparing fiscal year 2021 to fiscal year 2022 as of May 5th. And we're seeing here the total of personnel cost compared to fiscal year 2021 actual. The fiscal year 2022 actual is about as of May 5th is of 1.7. I wanted to ask, just going down with the line itemized, what is causing this little jump for the overtime? It's a overtime payment, and you see a little reduction in overtime. What caused you to have a little reduction in your overtime costs?
Senator, overtime would generally pick up once we issue the tax bills. That's normally in June. Basically, that's what drives it. From
Okay,
then,
but one moment for me, Ms. Farrington. But June has already passed, and so the persons have not received their overtime payment. Is that what you're indicating?
this report you're looking at, Senator, on page 5
Okay,
of 16.
is of May.
It says as of 5/5/2022.
Okay.
If you generate a report in the government system, that is probably as of the end of April.
Okay, so
and
do-
I'm saying we haven't gotten to June
Time.
yet.
Okay. Let me just finish up with this. Do you have the actuals breakdown for us that you can share with us regarding most recent, maybe until July, as far as the expenditures are concerned? I think you shared with us the major lump sum expenditures. I believe one of my colleagues asked that under personnel, but do you have the expenditure listing as of July?
No, I would have to provide that. What I shared was the revenue information as of June.
So through the chair, if I could.
Hold up, you asked a question. How long would it take to get the actuals? Because it's a budget hearing and we need to know exactly what it is.
You could get them today. Go back to my office and generate a report.
As of
Hold up. Your time has expired. But why didn't you walk with the actuals to the budget hearing?
Well, let me look and see if I have something here, but I'm saying if I didn't walk with the report, I would have to generate a report as of current.
Okay, is there somebody, if you don't have it there, is there somebody in your office that could generate the report, that you could send it and generate the report and we can get some actual data?
Give me 1 minute, Senator.
Okay, close out and we're going to want the actuals to move on so the senators could have real-time data.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, we are going to need the actuals, and I really appreciate you. I look forward to receiving that
Thank
document.
you so much. Senator Sarro, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to all. Ms. Carbone, any new hires in cadastral? The last time you were here, you had 2 in St. Thomas and 3 in St. Croix. Is that the same staffing you have for cadastral?
Yes.
Okay. Any new hires in cadastral?
No.
Okay. Do you have any vacancies in cadastral?
In cadastral, we have one vacancy. Somebody was promoted, so they moved from one position to the next.
Okay.
So
Is anything in the budget for a new hire? Any new hires in cadastral?
New hires? No.
Okay. What does cadastral cover?
What does it cover?
What's the subdivisions of cadastral?
It's within the tax assessor's office.
So
There's
tell
no
me,
subdivision.
tell me what's there.
Good morning, Senator. The cadastral unit covers the attestation of deeds as well as the certification of maps.
Good. Stay right there, right? So we have a bottleneck in cadastral happening right now because a sale can't go through if we don't have the deed attested, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's jump back to cadastral now. Are we aware of the backlog with cadastral?
I am aware that there is some backlog. I believe on the island of St. Croix, we had an issue where an employee was out on pre-approved leave.
Okay.
And the other employee got ill.
So do you have sufficient staff for cadastral? The answer is no, correct?
If anything, we would have to add positions, but I'll make this point. We have one territorial public surveyor, right? Our ideal would be to have one on each island.
Okay.
Right now, he has to travel, but
Well,
the
hold on.
problem is to pay some, get another body
Miss-
on board.
So, Chief of Staff Carbon, if that is the situation and you're coming to present your budget, why is that not a new position that you need at the appropriate salary so this body can fund? That's what I'm getting at. I know what cadastral do, and I realize that you have a bottleneck. So why aren't you coming and saying, I have a need? Do you have a need?
Yes, one of the issues is the public surveyor that's even there. Thank God he's there because we can't pay them what they're making out on the street now with all this construction.
What is the
6 figures? We can't pay them.
What is this? Have you guys sat and decided on a decent salary? What is a decent salary for?
6 figures is what they're making out there now.
Okay.
2 minutes.
And what are you paying in the
So-
cadastral right now?
I'm not sure of that salary, but it's, of course, a government salary in line with other government employees. And that's something that we have to take into consideration. Even when we talk about bringing in persons, we have to consider who are already there and how their salary would be positioned with others there.
So I have 2 minutes left, and I don't want to belabor the issue, but that still doesn't negate the fact that the need wasn't said. It doesn't negate the fact that you didn't testify. And I'm exhausted with government agencies coming before us and saying that, I guess the mandate from the top is to say that whatever we're giving you is sufficient. And we just need a level of honesty to say, hey, we have an issue in cadastral. We need to hire more people in cadastral. We also intend, I asked Dr. Hall, what would it cost for us to fund an appraiser program through UVI Cell so you guys can start hiring appraisers and cultivating local appraisers. So we have a duty, but the need is not being said. So we can't meet the need, and then the first thing to come back and say we ain't got enough money. We have to set the need. Now let's go into property taxes, Mr. Ledum. I note your real property taxes, your actuals. 2021, you collected 54.3 million, correct? For fiscal year?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. The fiscal year ends September 30th, correct?
Yes, Senator.
You have your actuals per the responses to this 23.9 million in property taxes. You've collected less than half of property taxes. Tell me what's happening over there.
Well, those actuals that were given to you were as of the end of June.
Tell me what's your actuals now.
The actuals is just over 30 million.
Okay, you're still way below the mark.
I'm sorry?
Give me the exact number. 30 what? What's the correct number?
Time.
$30,294,973.30 as of yesterday.
So will we be on target to collect roughly 50 million in property taxes by September?
Yes, Senator. We're slightly behind, but we expect to meet that forecast.
So Mr. Chairman, okay.
You may conclude.
So when we had a budget overview, the budget of this government we're relying on the projected amount of 50 million. That is what Director O'Neill came down here with for the budget overview, roughly. So if we're behind, again, what do you plan to do? Tell me the plan to meet that benchmark.
Well, in the remaining months of 2022, we intend to have several initiatives that will spur the increase in collections. First and foremost, we intend to publish the return mail that has been coming back, and so we intend to let the public know that it's the responsibility of property owners to update their address of record. Subsequent to that, we intend to be publishing a delinquency publication once the 2022 tax bills become delinquent. Subsequent to that, we also intend to have a campaign encouraging persons living outside of the territory to utilize the new capabilities of our citizen access portal to be able to not just pay property taxes, but to initiate and to maintain payment plans for property taxes moving forward. So we expect with the final go live of our new payment processor and the citizen access portal, that many persons who live outside of the territory that previously had issues reconciling delinquent accounts, that they would now be able to do so online from wherever they are.
Mr. Chair, the Citizen Access Portal, do you have a timeline when it will be up and running?
The Citizen Access Portal is up and running since June 1. Right now, you can perform property tax statuses. You can do a search on any property and see how much is owed. You can print free status reports.
That wasn't, you basically highlighted that part of you not collecting some of those taxes because of that portal. So when will that component be corrected so you can collect the taxes? Because you have 2 months left before the fiscal year ends.
Yes,
Thank you, Senator. Is the payment portal working?
The payment processing portal is what we're waiting for.
Is it working?
It is
It
not
is not.
up on. I can, because I'm more familiar with what's going on.
Is it working?
It is not working because we're finalizing issues.
Let's stop there. When will it work?
We are working with property and procurement. We had to make some adjustments to the contract. So
that means what? When?
Hopefully within the next few weeks.
Okay, because if it doesn't work, your whole plan gone. Your plan for individuals in the mainland to pay online is gone if the portal isn't working. What? Lieutenant Governor Office is a tremendous revenue generator for the government of the Virgin Islands. We need to fix these problems. We need to get the lease completed to purchase a building, move into the building, we need to fix all of these problems so the employees could be comfortable and we could generate the revenue that we need for this government. Point of inquiry, quick, Senator Fred Gregory, and then we're going to Senator Francis Heilig and then Senator Francis and St. Croix.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I heard the tax collector indicate about sending out notices or publishing in the return mail. When did we send out the property taxes for this year?
The property taxes, Senator, for 2022 was sent out around June 1 of this year.
So when do you intend to send out the return mail listing? Because the mail don't come back. The mail, if the mail don't come back, that should have been out. What's the status of that?
Well, we are compiling the list. There was a lot of mail that came back, Senator, and so we expect to be sending that out, publishing it rather, in early to mid-August.
Chief Carbon, are you on board with that?
Yes. There's a project going on now to address the return mail.
Yeah, I just find that we continue to spin our wheels with this particular conversation, and there must be some system in place to address that as it occurs.
We have been having so many challenges with the tax system. I have spent most of my time this fiscal period dealing, and that's why we had to move from the old vendor to this new vendor. And with every new system, you have glitches, but it's much better than that old system. We're just trying to iron out kinks, and like I said, hopefully within the next 3 weeks, we'll be able to finalize everything. It will help with the delinquency listings going out and everything.
Okay, thank you so much. Colleagues, let's wait 1 second, everybody, because we really want to, right now it's not looking like we're going to have 2 rounds because we have a number of senators. So if you call for point of inquiry, make it direct and make it relevant to what was discussed before. Senator Sorrow, point of inquiry.
Thank you to the property taxes. Property bills, bills were issued incorrectly. Did you have the opportunity to reissue the correct bills?
Mr. Mills. Because you could answer it.
Yes, Senator. Many of the bills were reissued. They have been updated and we're now waiting for the reprint of those updated items. But the system should have many of that already embedded in it through the citizen portal. But the reprint is what we're just waiting for the next, I think by is it weekend?
So what he's saying, persons can go online and view their corrected
Hold
bill.
up. My father can't go online. He's 93 years old.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people that can't go online. If somebody goes in to pay with a bill that is wrong, when they give it to the cashier will realize that the bill is wrong because the system has been updated?
The cashier would have already have the new information in the system, yes.
Okay, so that's fine. And those that paid within the first week of getting the bill, some individuals, as soon as they get the bill, they paid. If they paid and they paid the wrong amount, the amount that was in error, are they going to get a refund?
Yes, Senator.
Okay, so that's good. Refund.
No credit, refund.
Refund. Some people don't have the luxury of waiting for credit until next year. They want the money back. I neglected to call Senator DeGraff, who was probably the second person here. So, Senator DeGraff, you were recognized, and I apologize for missing you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It ain't no problem, man. I'm here as a soldier. Again, good morning to my colleagues. Good morning, testifiers, all viewing, listening, and present. I'm going to first start off with, I've been sitting down and listening, and when you hear the kind of millions of dollars that I collecting, thank you. First of all, thank you. If I got to take 5 minutes to keep saying it, thank you. So I want to start off with the employees first. First of all, Attorney Glendina, stop acting. Give her the position, that done.
Tell that to her. Tell that. I hope she heard it.
Is she the whole up? Stop acting. You win the Academy Award, stop acting. Let's go. I have faith in you. I got faith in you guys. So we move on that one. Now, I hearing about money and all kind of thing. You ain't spend all this money. We ain't giving back nothing yet. We got unionized employees. How many unionized employees you have?
That's a majority.
Yeah, the majority.
You can speak a little closer to the mic, please, and state your name, I guess.
Claudette Farrington. I'm trying to think. The majority of our employees are unionized. I'm trying to think on a figure.
Okay, so have they negotiated as yet?
We came out of negotiation recently for the master agreement, the rank and file.
Have they been paid?
Well, based on the most recent negotiation, we're waiting for further information from OCB. So we just finished negotiation. I think it was in June, July.
Okay, so when would be the effective date for them to be paid? Are we going toward any retro?
That is a determination that would be made, I guess, with OCB and OMB. We don't know. We're waiting for further instructions.
Okay.
But we participated in the negotiation.
So the negotiations is for a wage increase?
That is my understanding, yes.
And, okay, so the employees are aware of it? They
I'm
are
sure
fully aware. Good. I know the unions, that's their
unions.
responsibility, fine. Okay, good. So, and they have monies to pay them?
Again, all of that would be determined by OMB, OCB. We haven't gotten to the point yet.
Right, but again, we for the 23 budget now, going forward, you have to be able to sustain it.
Right, which is true. But again, I don't know what the numbers are for them yet in terms of OCB.
Okay, so we need to know if we can find that out as fast as we can. So again, the employees is number one. All the money you're collecting, like I say, it's because of who you have.
Right.
I remember that old adage when I was in the executive branch, do more with less. I never liked that statement, but that's what you guys been doing. That's what the government does, more with less. So let's make sure they're compensated. Now you
2
have
minutes.
non-unionized employees who the last wage increase I can remember was Governor Mapp gave out something in 2018. I think you have GS employees?
No, we only have non-unionized and unionized master and supervisor. We don't have any non-union classified.
Okay, so other than the unionized employees, anybody receive a wage increase since? I think that 3% Governor Mapp?
No. I think the most recent increases we did would have been for steel workers supervisor. Based on their contract, they were entitled to a bump up effective, I think it was October 2021.
Okay, so only unionized employees
Yes.
are waiting for wage increases. And
Yes.
have any exempt employees received any wage increases?
Not to my knowledge, off the top of my head, no.
Okay, I was looking at the post auditor's report from 2022 compared to the one for 2023. You have, for 2023 budget, you have 147 positions.
For the 2023,
In the post audit report,
what page are you on?
page 7, it said personnel, Lieutenant Governor's office will cover for 147 positions.
Yes, I see it.
Is that accurate?
It is in that the 94 factors in the 50% cut for the vacant positions. Without the cut, that figure would have been 106 instead of 94. So based on the information post audit received and we received, it is correct in that for general fund, the 94 is the equivalent factoring in that percentage cut.
Okay, because I know in the 22 budget they had 162 positions.
Like I indicated before, even previously, positions were lost because there were cuts. There have been cuts. So,
Cuts from personnel?
yes.
Time.
Yes. The funding. The funding has been cut, so that would mean the positions would be cut.
Okay, I need to elaborate, and if I may, Mr. Chair, I need to elaborate on the cuts for personnel, because on one hand we're saying we're trying to get personnel, we're trying to get salaries, but then you're saying the cuts for personnel. So maybe we're not aware of what the cuts are for personnel, probably where my colleagues want to take off money's weightage, you probably didn't use it. So you could elaborate on that for me, and I'll just turn it back over to the chair, okay? The cuts for personnel.
For
Okay.
fiscal year 20...
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
For fiscal
Thank
year...
you, Senator. Go ahead.
For fiscal year 2023, the 94 positions, if you look at the specifics in the post-audit information, the detailed information, it would show you that while the filled positions naturally are funded 100%, FTE of 1, when it comes to the vacant positions, they all reflect FTE of 0.5. So those positions are not fully funded.
Of 50.
I'm sorry?
Of 50.
Sorry? 50%.
Right.
Yes. Yes, so those positions are not fully funded. So that's how the post auditor came up. If you're just counting based on FTEs, based on the percentage, 94. Had they been fully funded, 1, it would have been 106.
Okay. This is what OMB sent to us. This is a budget sent down from Government House. So it's not the post-added budget.
No, I'm just
it is OMB saying that they're funding the position at 50%. When we're doing the markup, we'll do whatever we need to do to move forward. But this is the budget sent down from Government House, and this is their recommendation. And some type of meeting should have been held with all the departments to discuss how you're going to move forward if you hire an employee come October 1st, October 1. Senator Francis Heiliger, you recognize. And Senator Gittins, thank you for coming. I want to acknowledge him.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to the people of the territory, staff, central staff, people of the Virgin Islands. The first set of questions I want to ask has to do with personnel. As along the line of questioning, the governor is requesting that your allotment be reduced in regards to personnel. But has this agency done any type of assessment to know what your actual cost you really need in order to be successful at getting the job done?
Senator, I guess that's something we would have to look at holistically, in addition to looking at restructuring and updating our job specs in order to address the salary issue. We have been in communication with OCB with respect to some of our key positions in terms of what we recommend the minimum salary should be. So it's a a bigger picture that we have to look at holistically.
Have you done any analysis as to cost collections? For example, as you know, I am going to be a full supporter, and I applaud the Lieutenant Governor's office because you guys generate quite a bit of funds for the territory, inclusive of also IRB. And I truly believe that you should be adequately staffed. Have you guys done any type of analysis as it relates to what could be collected if you had accurate amount of staff to even showcase why and to justify why these monies are needed?
No, not to my knowledge, Senator.
Haven't done that. Okay. I also would like to know, in regards to the unclaimed property, as you know, we recently got a piece of legislation passed, and I have been working with you guys to really push that. In regards to the employees that you guys say you needed, did you guys include that in this budget this year to verify? Because I heard you speak about it in the testimony, but are you directly going to ask for the additional staff to assist with that particular area?
Unclaimed property?
Yes.
I think right now we have positions vacated that we're looking at using to target towards that specific activity. So that's a start. That's a start there. In preparing the budget, I know we had add an additional financial service examiner for banking, but again, that's an area where we're having a challenge with filling those positions because of the need for persons with accounting background.
Okay.
So we're still pushing.
Also, in regard to the unclaimed funds, one of the things that we
2
still
minutes.
needed to get information on, has your agency, the Lieutenant Governor's office, been updated as yet as to the full total amount of unclaimed funds outside of the $15.9 million in the trust account? Have you gotten that additional information as yet?
Glendina Matthew, as acting director. Yes, we have. We were advised by Department of Finance there is an additional $26 million that is in a special fund for unclaimed property.
Oh, okay. So it's the 26 plus the 15.9.
Correct.
Thank you so much. That was a year of trying to get that. I appreciate finally getting the number. So, yes, okay. I also wanted to know in regards to security breaches. I know you guys spoke about the additional security with the new system. Have you, I know there was a situation where there was a potential breach. What kind of cost did that cost you guys? Have you been able to recover from the loss? Or what is going to be put in place outside of what you're attempting to do now with the new system to potentially fix these issues?
Okay, I'm gonna let Director Lance McKay respond. Before he does, I would say, with any security breach, the chances of recovering the information without paying, because a lot of times it's ransomware and we don't have the millions of dollars they're requesting. The idea is to have backups where you have other access, to your information or the data that you need.
So you guys didn't pay out anything?
No.
Okay.
But our backup systems is what we beefed up on, in addition to, security. But Mr. McKay can elaborate further on that.
Okay.
Time.
Good morning. Am I being heard?
Yes.
Good. Good morning, Lance McKay, MIS Director, LGO, Lieutenant Governor's Office. Chief Carvin pretty much covered it. We have beefed up, but in terms of losses, I would say we were able to recover about 90% of what was lost. We took a big hit on the banking and insurance side, some cadastral, but by and large, because of the backups that we did.
Okay. Well, thank you for
quite
that.
a bit.
I appreciate that.
And going forward. All right.
Okay. There were some issues that, for example, I was at the Lieutenant Governor's office, And there were some issues during the amnesty period the last time before this system went online, where some of the individuals there were a little bit frustrated because they were being told at the time to pay the full amount because they could not go into the system to know the balance minus the interest and the penalties. There were some people that paid the full amount and was told that they would then get a credit after the fact. One lady walked up to me very upset.
You gotta.
Oh,
your time was called already.
Oh,
so
I didn't
if you
hear
want
it.
to just conclude and
I
ask a
will
direct
finish
question.
that. I heard you having dialogue with my colleague in regards to issuing refunds. Is that going to be the policy for those individuals that overpaid during the amnesty period? Will they be getting a refund as well?
Yes, Senator.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate the additional time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Senator Francis Iloga. When for the refunds and when for the reprint of the property tax bills? Those were issued in error.
The reprints should happen, where are we now, towards the end of July, before mid-August.
Before mid-August, okay, before
mid-August,
August 15th.
yes.
Okay, and the refunds?
And the refunds by the end of August.
Okay. Senator Francis, you recognize. Senator Francis, hold up. Senator Francis' mic, we're not hearing him. Try it again, Senator Francis. Hold his time. Start over this time. Senator Francis.
Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay, I think you're good now. We're hearing you, but we're hearing some feedback, some echoing in the background. Try it again.
Feedback, some echoing in the background. Try it again. Feedback, some echoing in the background. 1 2, Mr. Chair. 1 2, Mr. Chair. 1 2, Mr. Chair.
Okay, media, hearing a feedback. Okay, try it again, Senator Francis. Okay, try it again, Senator Francis. Okay, try it again, Senator Francis. Okay, let's take a 1-minute recess. Let's take a 1-minute recess.
Thank you.